Hi, I'm Alex James, and this is What's Your Story? And my guest today, well, I'm really privileged to introduce you to Isaac Harvey, who has very kindly taken time out of his very busy schedule to give us this interview. And Isaac is an MBE. He's just an inspiration, and he's just an amazing individual. So I want to just ask you just to give us your story, Isaac.
Gosh, I mean that's a broad that's a broad question because there's a lot to my story. But yeah, I'm Isaac and I was born with a disability called limb pelvic hypoplasia, which means I have no arms, short legs, I have a weak pelvis, meaning I'm not able to walk. I've also got scoliosis, which is the curvature of the spine. And on top of all that, I've got acid reflux. But with all of those challenges and disabilities that I've got, it's not stopped me from getting out there and doing and making the most of life. And that's thanks to my family and my upbringing, who have really never discouraged me from getting out there and doing things. So that's really helped me want to go out there and see what's available to me through, may that be through opportunities or collaborations. I'm always open to new ventures. Um, and to start the journey, I've always been a creative. I've
Mm.
always been a creative person, and I've liked to express that creativity through different mediums. But I did A levels where I did media studies, and that's kind of when I fell in love with video editing and content creation. And as soon as I'd done that, I was like, nope, I'm not doing the 9 to 5. I want to do my own thing. And that's kind of what I stuck to when it came to content creation. So I'd start doing YouTube videos, vlogging the different adventures that I would do, such as skiing, skydiving, tall ship sailing,
Wow.
all of these, yeah,
Wow.
different activities. And I would just film them and just have fun creating them. But I would never talk about disability in the videos, because I never really saw any point to doing that. But friends and some family members were saying, you should really talk about disability. You could change people's
Mm.
perspectives, both the disability community as well as um, people who just don't know much about disability.
Mm.
And I thought, oh, why do I have to do that for? It doesn't make sense. I just want to create good content, that's what I want to do. So they kept telling me, and I kept on ignoring them until I was given an opportunity to do a talk up in Birmingham about the obstacles I face, um, and but talk about how I can still have a very fulfilling life. So I did the talk and I spoke about obstacles such as planning ahead of all of this time. And I spoke about how it's not easy to just get on a train because, I had to let them know in advance of how to get on the train, and the pain that I go through every day, but even though I have all of these obstacles, I mean, that's only scratching the surface on the challenges I face. But I said, even with that, I still go out there and do. And that's thanks to the support of people around me. And when I'd finished that
Can I just
talk,
interrupt you
yeah,
just there? Because you
sure,
mentioned
sure,
your
sure.
family. And
Yeah.
I mean, they must be pretty amazing because I'm a parent too, and you want your children to achieve, and you sort of do your best for them. But to have helped you, like
Mm.
you said that they have, and you're so confident and out there, and it sounds to me like whoever your family, I don't know what your family dynamics are, but whoever they are, they're pretty amazing too, because they have facilitated and enabled you to be able to achieve the things that you've wanted to, which can't always be easy for them.
No, it's because it's part of a struggle as well. I mean, they have encouraged me. Mum's been brilliant. My dad was good too. Like they've all have done their bit in helping me shape to the person I am today. But with everyone in their life, they all have their commitments, work, they're busy, and sometimes they're not always able to come out with me to do things. So that can be quite restricting
Mm,
in wanting to go out there and do things. So they've definitely encouraged me, and I am someone who keeps pushing through, but there is sometimes where I'm not able to push through because there's no one there
mm.
to support me in doing that.
So tell me, you wrote this very, very moving. Um, this just it really touched me. On LinkedIn, you wrote your feelings about how life is for you. And are you okay to talk about that? Because
Yeah,
that
sure.
just moved me, and I think people don't always we don't always ask those questions. It's like you said, it's kind of unspoken about, isn't it? We don't ask people how they really feel about how they are.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you read the two others after that because it kind of turned into a bit of a trilogy because I just because there's so much that I could write about the different struggles I face and the constant battle I've been having for over a year now when it comes to getting support. I mean, as you mentioned in the beginning, I've got an MBE. I spoke about skydiving and skiing. I've got an honorary Freeman Award, all these different. I carried the Olympic torch, done all of these things, but I can't even get basic support from my social worker,
Mm,
because when they come in, they see that my mum, who's not young anymore, but she's here, and my brother help when they can. They see that and they say, "Well, you don't need much help then." But the reality is, if I had extra support, I would be able to go forward more. Because I feel so restricted, and it's been a constant back and forth battle. And
yeah.
the day I wrote that post, I really felt like, just can't be bothered with this. So I'll need to make my own money and just do it my way because I just can't go through this anymore. But my advocate's really great and made sure that I keep going, and we're trying to find an alternative way. But yeah, the social worker telling you one thing and then they backtrack and then they end up saying something totally different and you have to start from square one
Mm,
again. And it's just like, I don't have the energy for this. Like,
yeah.
got work, my life, the social media, everything. It's just like, I just don't have the capacity to keep the fight going on. And yeah, it's
What
just
is
holding me
it when
back.
you get up in the morning and you are feeling like that? You're feeling just like, because it is a battle. Every day is a battle for you. I get
Mm.
that. But this is an added battle that you really don't need. So what is it that keeps you going, that keeps you motivated to go when you hit those really dark moments when you're not feeling so great about everything? What gets you to a better place?
So I did a lot of internal work. I went through a mental health journey. Um, kind of. Well, let me start from the beginning. So, um, I've done all of these amazing things, but for the longest time, I wouldn't feel happy in myself
Mm,
whilst all of this was going on. And whenever I looked at other people, I basically looked at three different aspects to be have a happy life. So definitely relying on external factors rather than internally. So one of them was to be happy in life, I need to be in a relationship. So I kind of strived for that, really blinding me by all of the things that I was achieving. And I was like, I need to be in a relationship to be happy. So I kept striving for that. Eventually got into a relationship and I still wasn't happy within myself. And I thought, I've got one of the things I've always wanted. Why am I still not happy? So I became quite selfish within that relationship. I was like, I finally got one of the things I've always wanted, and I'm gonna make sure that I'm happy about it. Obviously, being selfish in a relationship doesn't last long, so so that didn't. happen. As that was happening, I thought, okay, if that's not going to work, then I need to have a successful job. I need to be good in what I'm doing. And that was to be a content creator, and do really well in that space. Because I followed a lot of influencers back then, and I was like, oh yeah, that's what I want to
Mm,
do. And it started off as a passion project, as I mentioned earlier. I've always loved being creative. So it started off like that, and then in 2017, I'd won an award, which had to do with videos, and because they'd partnered with Evening Standard and Jack Petchy Foundation on all of this, they had roots into television and everything. So once I won, I was in newspapers, television, I had a mentor from YouTube, and I thought, okay, this is my big break now. I'm gonna be a really successful YouTuber with millions of followers and subscribers and things. And that never materialized. So that took me a step back as well. And then lastly, as I was starting to talk more about disability, people saw me as this inspiration, motivational character. So I thought, even if I'm feeling down, I can't talk about that because I'll be letting people down. So I ended up holding it in and having it internally inside me. And basically all those three things happened at once. And it just got to a breaking point, and I thought, okay, I really need to learn why I'm feeling like I am. And that's when I took a step back and took it upon myself to really learn about how I'm feeling. And from that, to answer your question, a long-winded way round, but with the internal work that I've been doing, I know that there's always hope, and I know that things will get better, even though I am, I guess you could say, struggling, like I said on that LinkedIn post. But I still have hope that things will get better. But then I also feel like at what cost? Because when it gets to it and I get burnt out, will that help be necessary? So it's a bit of a catch-22, but I know things will get better. It's just not knowing when.
mm. So you carry on. When you're in those moments, then you just tell yourself it's going to get better, and then
Mm.
you sort of get it from within. From things have got
Yeah.
better before, and they will again. Mm.
And also, another reason I wanted to write that post is because I'm very fortunate to have a platform. And I know, you hear a lot of stories of people who don't have the support, meaning they can't go to work, or they have to stay at home, or they have to go bed early because carers can come at a certain time. And some people just don't
Mm.
have that platform to speak up. Because that's why in the post I mentioned about, I got this platform, but for others, they may not be able to speak, or feel open in sharing their struggles or their life.
I
So
think
it
that's
was,
what struck me, Isaac, because and it's going to sound terrible, but we're being really honest here.
mm,
Is that part of your post and thinking, actually, this person, you're so reliant on other people, and like you're lucky, as you say, you have that support, but it's not always there. It can't
mm,
always be there. But for some people, they don't have that. And to be a young person as you are, and have to wait for somebody to put you to bed, and to have to wait for everything, as you said in your post, you've got to ask for help for everything. It makes you so vulnerable. And if you haven't got a platform and other people around you, that's pretty awful. And I suppose most of us don't think about that side of it. We don't think about that, what it must be like on the other side. I don't think. I mean, it really touched me, because I thought, I don't think I've ever heard anybody be as honest about how that feels, to
yes,
have
yeah,
to rely totally on other people.
it was a bit of a, because I thought this support would have been in place at least 7 months ago,
Mm,
almost, well, 7 to 12 months ago. Um, when it comes to getting the support. So I was kind of holding back on it, thinking, okay, I'm going to get the support and then I can talk about this. But when you keep getting those barriers on saying, oh, we can't help you, or there's a thing called access to work, and which is a government scheme to help those with disabilities get into work or be able to support them in work. And to be told that you don't have a viable business where they become the judge and the jury,
Mm.
it's like this is just not right. As my mum said, as soon as you walk through the door, you should know I need help. It's there's no question or assessment needed. I need help. But as I say, there's a lot of people who just can't or don't have the confidence to speak up, and then that's how they live their lives with less support, no help, maybe go to bed early, and it's just unfair.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you manage to do things. So if you are in bed, can you operate the TV and do things like that? Can you sort of use the phone, do your program, your social media on your own, or do you need help with everything?
So the reason I'm lying down now is because I use the computer with my feet. So I can independently do that and voice dictation for typing. I also use a lot of AI now, which
Yeah.
has really benefited my day-to-day work activities. So I'm independent in that way. And also once I'm in my wheelchair, I can get from A to B wherever I need to go because I drive that with my foot as well. And now with phones, I got the hands-free technology so I can make and receive calls. But it's even that can be quite restrictive because um when I'm out, I mean it's a blessing and a curse when I say this, but for me, I've never been able to go out and look at my phone. Um and yeah, that's good because I can see the world around me. But it also means that's a whole day where I may not be able to check messages or emails.
And there's
And
no
that's
privacy then.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
yeah. But it also means it's a build up, and that's why I say to people, it's I have a constant to-do list because I
Mm.
can't carry on doing the work when I'm out. And if I had the support, I maybe could sit in a cafe for an hour before my meeting to do something or attend meetings rather than because there's even times where I would have a meeting in central London, for example, and then and then it ends up finishing late or I'm at an event. So I have to come home to sleep, which is sometimes the other side of London, to then have a meeting in the morning, which means I have to go back into Central. But if I had support, I could maybe stay at a hotel for the night where it save all that travel and could work in the morning rather than that. So, it's that constant to-do list because again, I can't do the work unless I'm at home now lying down.
So tell me, what support is it that you need? Let's look at that. What is it you need?
24 hours basically. Um, just someone here hands-on whenever I need a drink or need to go to the bathroom. Just someone here that I can say, okay, I'm going out now, or I'll be going out in a couple of hours. Or I need a snack now. Because that happens here at home. But my mum has to stop doing what she's doing, or my brother has to come from upstairs, and
Mm,
I don't want to inconvenience them. Like they know what they're in for, and they're happy to do it. But it's like sometimes there's feelings of like it doesn't feel like I have a brother. It's more like a carer.
yeah.
Um, but we do get on very well. But it's times where it's like he has to get up early in the morning, and when I have to go out, but it's like. I wish you could just have a lay in and not have to wake up early in the morning to support me.
So you
So
need a
yeah,
personalized PA, really, don't you? You don't, I mean, carer, I don't think, it's kind of like carer,
yeah.
but it's more a personalized PA. You need somebody to sort of be with you, help with those things, but also be available when you need to do what you want to do when you want to do it. Yeah.
So I have a friend who has yeah, care is not the right word, support worker. Um, so I have a friend who he had 24-hour care and he has someone who comes with him or stays with him for 2 weeks and then it's and then when that 2 weeks is over, another person comes in and it's 2 weeks on and 2 weeks off. But he has that constant help and they stay
Mm.
with him in the house. And that's what I basically need.
Mm. And that's where they aren't providing that for you,
Yeah.
and that needs really that does need to be looked at, doesn't it? I think I'll join your challenge
Mm.
to publicize that, because you just, I think we just don't realize how limited resources are, or what a minefield it is to get anything, and all the form
Yes.
filling in and all the other stuff that you have to do to qualify. And I think the disappointment for you as well, if you're told something's coming in and it doesn't, must be enormous.
Oh, it is. I mean,
Yeah,
speaking about like all these forms, I mean, one of the meetings we did for 3 hours. Like for some people, it's not right, really.
yeah.
Like to talk about your needs and speak from a vulnerable position. Because it's the other sad thing I find is we come at it, well, how the system sees it, it's like you have to be seen as vulnerable to get the support. But I think it should be seen the other way around. It's like I can do all of this stuff, but if I had more support or well, basic support, I can do more and bring more to the pot and bring more to society if I
And you
just
can be
had
more independent, and you can
absolutely
contribute more, yes, because you're
a
working
contribute,
and
that's the word.
learning. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's it.
totally get that. Totally get that. So tell
Mm.
me about your challenge, because you're going to do something else, aren't you? Which is pretty amazing as well. And when are you
Yeah, I
going?
mean, so typically that it all fell in the same time. But well, actually, I've known about this challenge for a while, but it was just quite stressful when I did that post. But yes, so this coming Saturday, 24th of August, we are planning on skating from Brighton all the way to Paris
Wow.
for the beginning of the Paralympic Games. For context, for people who don't know, I'm the president of an organization called Wheels and Wheelchairs, and that's an outdoor activity sports club where roller skaters push wheelchair users. And we do that on a weekly basis in London, in Battersea Park, and then on the streets of London. And we take part in marathons in other countries. But this is a huge challenge where it feels like it's coming full circle because it was 12 years ago when a Paris group who were doing similar activities skated for one of their anniversaries for the London 2012 games. And when they arrived 12 years ago, London skaters were like, wow, this is amazing. We need to start something here. And that's when Wheels and Wheelchairs was born. And then I got involved in 2019 and then became the president in 2020.
So what does this involve then for you? What's it going to mean for you to do this? What's it look like?
So we've managed to get uh 5 other crazy wheelchair users who will be participating. We've got 40 skaters who have been trained up by people who usually go out skating. And we have 15 volunteers with about 3 support vehicles. And yeah, it's just gonna take a lot of team effort, team spirit, and really pushing through the barriers of what we are able to do together because it's gonna be some days it's gonna be 8 hours skating a day. And for me, it's really gonna push my body to the limit because I get pain in my legs from sitting. So about 40 minutes sitting up, I start to get pain. So 8 hours sitting up is gonna be something, but I'm someone who kind of pushes through. I'll probably regret it later, but I'll be happy to have participated the much I can because there is a opportunity for me to jump in a support vehicle and go to skip a little bit, but I'm gonna try and do as much as I can because I feel this is feels like a once in a lifetime opportunity to
Yeah.
do something so big, especially in line with the Paralympics as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Are your family going along with you to help you, or have you got support for yourself to do it?
So I've got I've got my sister coming to support me and a friend that I've known for 11 years now. So he's coming to help out as my assistant, but they will also be part of the support crew, so getting food together and drinks for people. Um, so yeah, that's who will be coming with me on this trip.
And presumably you're covering this, are you, on your own social media? You'll be diarying it or
I I hope to. I just because as I say, on the move it might be a bit difficult, but maybe every evening I can do, oh, this is what happened on day one and this is how I felt. So yeah, I want to document it the best I can.
yeah. Can we catch up when you've done it, Isaac, to see how it went?
Yeah, sure, we could do a follow-up, yeah.
Yeah, because I'd really like to know how you get on and everything with it. I mean, this is just, I just honestly, I can't tell you. I just think you're incredible, really, and I'm pretty certain, you know, that if you, because you have a voice now and a platform, you could make some really big changes for other
Mm.
people who are going through things like this, who, like you say, haven't got a voice. And that's so generous of you to think about other people. I've got a feeling that's part of you, though.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I've always felt that because I'm fortunate to have an advocate. I'm fortunate to have people around me, to be able to allow things to happen or really push me. But not everyone has that, and I think we need to speak up for those people, because otherwise they'll be missed out.
Well, listen, thank you so much
Yes.
for joining me on this. I feel really privileged to meet you. I really do. And I wish you the best of luck with this trip, which is
Thank
phenomenal.
you.
And I really look forward to, please don't forget me when you come back, because I really look forward to hearing how it goes.
Yeah.
And let's keep in touch. And so,
And yeah, and also if anyone wants to support us, you can follow us on social media at Wheels and Wheelchairs,
yeah.
on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And we also have a crowdfunder, which is going towards the challenge, but also allows us to take out more wheelchair users and so that we can continue doing more inclusive events. So any type of support in that way is greatly appreciated. And looking forward to doing a follow-up and telling you how it all went.